In this video, we're going to be looking at two very interesting words, depuis and pendant. C'est parti!
Bonjour tout le monde et bienvenue à Coffee Break French. Moi c'est Marc.
Et moi, c'est Pierre Benoit.
And in this video, as Pierre Benoit mentioned, we are looking at two very useful and very important words based on Rachel's question. Rachel got in touch and asked us what's the difference between depuis and pendant. So to answer this question, let's begin by looking at two sentences, one which uses depuis and one which uses pendant. Pierre Benoit, can you give us these sentences?
Bien sûr. Je joue au basket depuis 3 ans.
Okay, je joue au basket. I play at basketball depuis 3 ans. So I play at basketball since 3 years. That's a strange translation, but that's literally what it means. It means I've been playing basketball for 3 years. Let's look at the alternative.
J'ai joué au basket pendant 3 ans.
Okay, so it's an alternative, but it means something different. J'ai joué au basket pendant 3 ans. So here, we played basketball for a period of 3 years. I think it might help if we look at, let's think of this as a kind of drawing. I'm going to come up with a diagram here. This is now, okay? And there is Pierre Benoit playing basketball. You're very good at basketball, obviously, and the ball goes straight in the net every time. But what we need to think about is the difference between these two words, depuis and pendant. So let's take depuis first of all. Depuis basically starts somewhere in the past and it continues up to the present and indeed potentially beyond. So I have been playing basketball for 3 years and today I'm still playing basketball. And that's the reason for the present.
Yeah, that's it. If it's an action that started in the past and it's still going on at the present, okay, or in the present, then we need to use depuis.
Okay, so we've got the past here and then we've got now here, the present. So depuis continues from the past into the present. But that's different from pendant because pendant would kind of happen here. So it started in the past and it stopped in the past as well.
Yeah, it's totally finished in the past. And I think that's what people have to remember.
So, j'ai joué au basket pendant 3 ans. That means at some point in the past, for a period of 3 years, I played basketball. I played basketball for 3 years. And it's the for translation that's kind of tricky sometimes because we start to think about different words. But here we're sticking to depuis and pendant. Depuis starts in the past. It took 3 years and it's now continuing on. And pendant started in the past. It took 3 years and then ended at that point. Let's look at another example and that might help this whole idea.
J'étudie l'espagnol depuis 5 ans.
Okay, j'étudie l'espagnol depuis 5 ans. So again, let's do it literally first. I study Spanish since 5 years. I've been studying Spanish for 5 years. So that's a depuis situation. It starts in the past for 5 years in this case, and it continues up to the present. And who knows, perhaps we'll continue studying Spanish in the future. But there we've got depuis. It's I have been studying Spanish for 5 years. Let's look at the alternative.
J'ai étudié l'espagnol pendant 5 ans.
Okay, so j'ai étudié l'espagnol pendant, this time, 5 ans. So I studied Spanish for a period of 5 years in the past, but then no longer studied it after that. So there we have the difference between depuis, something that started in the past continues up to the present, and pendant, which started in the past and finished in the past. Now, Pierre, let's think carefully about these tenses here, because we've got two different tenses, one that's used for depuis and one that's used for pendant. Can you explain what we mean?
Yes, because here when we're using depuis, we need to have the present tense because the action is obviously, as we've been saying, is continuing in the present.
Okay, so with depuis, then we've got the present tense linked to depuis, but for pendant, we've got a different tense.
Since we have an action that's totally finished, it finished in the past, we need to use the past tense, and here it's a perfect.
Très bien. A perfect ending, a perfect solution. So there we go. We hope that that's answered your question, Rachel. Thank you very much for sending it in. Now, if you've got a question like Rachel, then just get in touch with us. Head to coffeebreakquestions.com where you can leave your questions for us and we'll hopefully be able to include your question in a future episode. Also, if you've enjoyed this video, then give it a like and, of course, subscribe to the channel to get more learning videos to help you with your French.
And if you do have any examples with depuis and pendant, just please post them in the comments.
Super. Bon, merci beaucoup et à la prochaine.
Salut!